Okay, I'm back. And let's try this again. I'm gonna get rid of the snakes. Wow, that was really bad timing on my part. I feel like getting rid of the kind of spike things probably opens up one or two new paths for you. But at the same time, those snakes are just really obnoxious. Let's see. I think I want to go here. No, that's... Wait, no. Yeah, that's right. Because now I can just do this. And there we go. That one's actually pretty complicated, one of those. Like, even by sliding puzzle, like, ice block standards, that's pretty involved. I'm assuming that that one that I just picked up would be a lot harder to do if you didn't have the flying guy at this point. Because otherwise you'd need to go on the bomb route, but as it stands, it's really easy to get from the top route. That might actually be everything there is in this. Yep. So we just have the sixth one remaining, which is this mysterious tower, and also a terminal. I probably want to get rid of these guys. If I remember right, this one's not that bad. Right, so this one has these gravity arrows in the background, where they do what you would expect of gravity arrows, and make you jump really high while you're jumping within them. And let's try getting rid of that. Getting rid of these guys kind of helps with time, but I kind of have time covered. Okay, yeah, that's a lot easier. So we have indeed found almost every artifact, as the Explorer Mind is telling us. Just gonna go up here now. Ignore the entire inside of this place. Can't actually go through that pipe. Looks like you can, but you can't. And this will be important again in the future. But for now, we just need to make it to the top. And then there's nothing on this side, but if we go around the other side, it will get like a data thing. You can actually go in from there, but there's not really any reason why I would want to. Alright, there's two data things on this side. You can't actually get up to there from the right, as you can see. You have to climb on the left, and then loop your way around. So, the only robot that can actually do this inner area is the big one. The small one can't make the jumps, and the rocket one can't really do the war bits. Like, he would just die because he doesn't have any sort of resistance. Small robot might be able to do some of this actually, but I don't really think so. And these are basically just serving as checkpoints. We're sticking with this guy. Yep. Having all of his health upgrades helps a lot with this part too. I can just kind of pretty safely make all sorts of awful mistakes. I think that was pretty much the hardest bit of this. And now we're here. This one we need to use the speed boost or else we'll just land on some spikes. Can wait for it to recharge. Speed boost again. And there we go. believe that we're pretty much at the top now. I think that was last screen. No, there's one more screen, but this is actually pretty much it now. Yay. The Explorer Mind is ecstatic for our persistence in finding the artifacts. And yep, that's every single artifact in the entire game. So now we can move on to finding the remaining secret things. First of which that I'm going to do is this. And this is going to be the hardest part for the entire rest of the game by a considerable margin. So the acid means that we can only bring this guy. And this is kind of a jumping nightmare. First time I did this, I didn't have any health upgrades. And I'm pretty sure this guy can take at least one spike hit with all of his upgrades. Oh my god, I actually missed. Yeah, he can take one hit. So that actually does make a sizable difference in the difficulty here compared to not being able to take any hits. Oop. That was bad, taking a hit that early in this though. Because we do need to still make it back. And I am screwing up on some really easy bits. Oh, I didn't need to use my super jump there. Here we go. Actually, that I don't need to super jump either. Just make our way through this. I can take the bomb path, but this part at least I want to just do on the top and then drop down. Oh, that's bad. Even with that mistake there, this bomb bit is easier than redoing the top. I'm not sure if you even really can redo the top. Maybe if you have a spare hit. Okay, good. That is the hardest part of this game. So that's another switch taken care of. And I'm going to do the last one, which, as you might be able to guess, we need to do as the small robot, because there's one of those for each robot. It's in at the very start of the game, up this pipe. You can see it right here. This one's not that bad. I've had the wall jumping be a bit finicky on me at times doing it for some reason, and like specifically just during this particular trial and at no other point in the game. But otherwise, not that bad. I believe I want to hold left. Yes. Okay, and I did that on my first try. That is another one that took me way more than one try the first time around. So that's all 3 switches, all done. So I've now just unlocked 2 more endings. One of which is probably the good ending, and one of which is the really bad ending. So we'll go for the really bad ending first, where those switches got rid of those 3 barriers. And now we do that, and oh no, there's some sort of countdown going on and sparks are flying. And we do not have the time to make it back to anywhere. Yep. So basically we blew up the computer but just took over our body, so we lose. And everything's destroyed, but now we have a bit more context for exactly what's going on. Grab every resource. That's a bit of a typo. And we got a tile drop. Sand and rust. Which makes me think this might actually be the true ending, because it's the only one that has the tile drop in it. And I'm freaking blazing through this game at 37 minutes. Oh. We can now load game. And we have an alternate ending that we can get by doing the same thing that we just did, with one slight difference. Based on a presumably useless power-up. I mean, the game took me like 2 or 3 hours my first time through. Like, a lot of it I know where everything is. If you don't know where everything is, it definitely takes a lot longer, because then you're actually exploring and poking around, but I'm just kind of beelining to one thing to another. So, oh no, it's blowing up. So let's just use that self-destruct power-up to destroy ourselves. And now the explorer mind can't take us over because we exploded. Yeah, funny how, like, creating something with a conqueror personality ends up being a bad idea. This is pretty much the best ending we can get, possibly. Presumably Homeworld is still just at war because we never sent the broadcast, and it will probably just blow itself up. But hey, all these robots on this planet are doing great. And now, we actually still have more game left than you might think, with all the data found. Because, now that we found all the data, and you don't need to find all the data to do this, you need to find a lot of it. I think I had like 96 or 98% found when I did this. We can somehow read this language. We just can. So, this is a bunch of riddles. And this one is meet flyers at the peak of their life where the gentle wind blows. And, so we need to figure out where that is, where there's wind and flyers and whatnot. And this one's pretty easy. It's this tower. If you had gone upward while standing on the very top of the tower, you would have noticed a duck just kind of hanging out above you. So that's what they mean by a flyer. And it's at the peak, and you can hear gentle wind in the soundtrack. So we climb all the way up here. And now that we're around here, you'll see these little sparkly things. And if we step on it, go into this weird area. Also, we have infinite battery life now. And you can hear ducks quacking. And see ducks just kind of flying through. It's like weird virtual reality space. There they go. And we did something. It's not really clear what we did, just that something happened. And now we need to go back. And we can talk to this again. We have fish and red flowers. So there's pretty much only one place in the game with fish and red flowers, which is right here. We're gonna need this guy. And this one is oddly difficult, specifically because it's kind of the only one of these that you can die in. So it's like beneath the red flower. There's a red flower. We're beneath it. Here's a hidden path. And this one is a bit weird in that you need to make a very hard jump, and the only way I've been able to find to do it is to kind of damage boost. I think that you can probably do it legitimately, but it's honestly so tight that's also not really worth it. So I'm going to just try and damage boost off of you. And oh no, I thought that my other jump, that my speed boost was up, but it wasn't. So this might be a problem. Oh, this might really be a problem because I need that red fish to still be there. Oh, the red fish is kinda not where I need it to be. So let's try that again. This might take me another try or two. It's odd. So, don't know why I went up here because I'm gonna need to wait for the green fish. I could probably try doing the jump legitimately, but it never seems like I can reach it. And like the times I've tried doing it legitimately, I definitely didn't. So I think you just need to damage boost off of the fish. And now I need to definitely wait on that and do a power jump. This one I don't want to do a power jump, I just want to do a normal jump. Same deal for this, I'm going to just wait for the speed boost and normal jump. This is another one. And okay, made it. And they start you right on top of the save point, so at least you don't really need to do much in order to save your progress. Like, you don't need to worry about dying somehow after you leave, unless you seriously forget to save on the thing you're set to stand on. So that's 2 of the 3, or, well, there's way more than 3, but it's 2 of them at any rate. So, this is the one. Biggest iron whale, which can only really refer to one thing. It's the ship. And the really, really laggy one, because that's the biggest. So, this one is a nightmare, because of the lag specifically. It's also pretty hard, but the lag makes it way worse. Really can just kind of like fly almost indefinitely. So we need to get this guy again, because he's the only one that can really fit into the place where we need to get. Wait for the lag to subside. There we go. I really don't even know why this area is as laggy as it is. Like, there's a lot of particle effects from the flamethrowers, but it's not like there's that many. Like, I doubt that's an issue specifically with my computer, because I have a pretty good CPU, and this isn't really remotely graphic intensive, so I think it's just something weird with the game itself. So, now we're here. I can stay as this guy for a little bit, until I reach the next save point at least. And we're slowly making our way there. Don't want to fall in the acid. So, you might notice that the color, like the sparkles, are different colors. The ones here, for instance, require us to go in as the small guy. which means that we need to do this platforming section as him. As far as I'm aware, you have to take this hit on these spikes, which means that gives you only 1 health to do the actual platforming proper, because there's no other way to reach that platform from like all the way back here. Thankfully, the lag makes it a bit easier to pull off the wall jumps, if you want to be thankful for that. It also makes it a lot easier to get screwed over like that when the lag goes away right when you're about to touch the wall. So it's kind of a blessing and a curse. And I'd probably prefer to just not have it, but since we have it, may as well try and abuse it, right? Oh, I missed it. That jump is hard. The fact that everything's really dark and it's hard to make out the exact spots where the platforms begin and is not helping in the slightest. So what I've generally decided on is it's best to start your jump when the lag's gone. That way you have a nice window of lag when you're trying to jump off of the wall. And also to just immediately let go. You can only wall jump off of a single wall. Yeah, you're probably right, Toast. Maybe that jump's easier to wall jump. Oh no, I screwed up. I guess I could try that. By wall jumping off of this corner. That doesn't look like it's gonna reach. No, that doesn't reach. Does he mean like the other corner? Like the corner between the spikes? I don't know if you can really jump that high though. Yeah, I can't reach it. Oh, oops. Oh, hi there, Alesh. So yeah, we're doing this laggy bit right here. This is the only part of the game that has lag, and this is like one of the hardest sections. It would probably be better if the lag was just constant rather than only when the flamethrowers were going. Also makes it really hard to time that jump. Let's see. If I can beat that last jump, that last like flamethrower jump, the rest of it's trivial. But actually getting to that point is another matter entirely. Here we go. So how long does this actually last? Like right there? Yeah. Okay. That was the hard part. Other than lag. Okay. This part is a bit tricky, largely because lag can really mess with you. Like, because you start plummeting the moment lag goes away. Okay. I wish this was a checkpoint, but it's not. So we're almost done. I'm actually going to try and make it so that I'm only moving when there's lag. By listening to the sound of the flamethrowers. Okay, I just jammed on the jump button. Oh right, I forgot that on top of everything else they decide to make this one actually hard too. It's not that bad. It's like only... Wow, I can't believe I just did that. I can't believe I just did that. Because the only part of it that's actually hazardous is that flame area right at the start. And then you're fine. So yeah, we might be in this room for a little bit. this dark, laggy hellscape of a room. It is the last area of the game that is like this, though. Wow, I actually made it past that. I don't know. It's only this one room. There's other rooms that have these flamethrowers. Is only this room. I don't know if it's because this is... Yeah, it might be that's bigger and they're more spread out. I don't know. Like, it is a big room. It is possibly the biggest single room in the game. Oh, nope. That's possibly bad. But, yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. It's a mystery. It's a complete mystery. So, attempt number 2. And made it. Almost fell off the edge there. Okay. Okay, and that's the only part that even has flamethrowers in this entire area. Like, the rest of it doesn't even have hazards. It's just that beginning bit of this jumping section. Like, that's still some tricky platforming you need to do, but can't hurt you. And there's flamethrowers to the right over here. We actually want to go left to get to the save point. I kind of forgot just how obnoxious that one is. I think we have 2 left. Or no, we might have 3. I think they make every robot do 2 different ones. Let's see, next one. Fly past all the shy friends. Fly past until you can no more. So, shy friends refers to, this area. Yeah, I mean, it's made in Game Maker. So, these are the shy friends. And it says fly, so it means he's this guy. And you'll see that there's that. I guess that the sparkle color maybe doesn't matter, actually. Now we just have this little flying section. I don't even remember what this entails. I don't remember it being all that hard, though. Thankfully, you don't need to actually make your way back. This one's a bit of a trick, because you can fly through the stalks. There. Took a hit at the end, but doesn't really matter. So, that was a lot easier than the other one. Savannah duck. And now we have... Let's see, I'm trying to remember what this one actually is. Rest where the spirits dance. Right. Okay. So, there's an area like that is kind of right at the beginning of this. And I believe we actually use the small robot for this one. Might not actually matter. But the last time I did this, I did it with the small robot. These last 2 are a bit weird compared to the other 4, because they don't really require you to go into a thing. They just require you to go to an area. And now we just rest and watch the spirits dance a bit. And eventually, something will happen. There we go. That's that one. I really like this scavenger hunt thing at the end. Like, the laggy airship room aside, like, even that one wouldn't be bad if it wasn't for the lag. Like, that room aside, this scavenger hunt, like, post-game thing is really fun. We only have one more. So, just to confirm, yep, nothing up here. Really odd that that's there, and there's just nothing. So, from cave to cave, from biggest room to biggest flower, hurry, that one says. So you might have noticed that each and every one of these was in a different teleporter. And this one kind of is designed to throw you off a bit. This one definitely actually took me a while to figure out. But we have this mushroom, and now we have a countdown. But there aren't really any big flowers there. So instead, we need to go over here and not die. Oh, wait. You know what? I screwed this up entirely. That's not the path to take to make it in time. Unfortunately, I do need to let that countdown finish. So now we just try again. Touching the mushroom while the countdown's going doesn't reset it, which I kind of wish it did, because that would make sense. But it's not really that big of a deal. Like, if you screw up really early on, you can just kill yourself and then touch the mushroom again. So we go all the way over here. And we don't have time to fly around, so we just tank this hit. And there it is. Got it in the very last second possible. So that's the biggest flower right there. And with all of that done, we can now do something. We can get the final ending of the game as far as I'm aware. Also, I'm not sure if there actually is a reward for getting all the data. Like, I can try, but I don't even know what it would be. So I think that this is where I'm going to end the stream after this ending here. Proudly stand at the top of our realm. Oh, you know what? I forgot about this one. This one is a different one. I really forgot this one even exists because it's so trivial. So, we actually do go back to the airship again. This one's also a bit tricky, because you'd think the tower, but it's already sent you to the tower. Also, technically, the airship is higher. So, there you go. Technical highest geographical point in the game. No, it doesn't involve waking up that robot. That robot's just kind of sitting there. There we go. Intrusively follow where the giant right arm leads. Man, there are a lot. I forgot about this one too. Wow. I did forget about quite a few. And these final ones are a lot more cryptic than the early ones. And you need to really have kind of remembered the geography. One of the... he doesn't get blasted in the ending where you sacrifice yourself, because then the Explorer Mine's just dead, and all the robots just wake up. So here we go. This thing is a person, and there's a giant right arm. And it took me a little bit to figure out. Like, I realized that was probably something in this rune area for a bit, but it took me a little bit to figure out that I had to actually go through that. Now we need to actually make our way back over these spikes, which is pretty easy to do as a small robot. I guess intrusively was kind of the hint there that you're supposed to go inside it. And I want to say that that's actually the last one now. Other than the ending proper. Maybe there's another one I forgot about. That's it. Nope, this is the last one. So crushed under our prying arrogance, and join us if you wish to. So this is basically the Lovecraft ending. So that's the ancient language of the dwellers whose data we were getting. So there's this now. It's at the bottom of the tower. So, it's a giant tower. Yeah, we just did all that for some reason, and we just joined them in their glitch zone. And we were never ever heard from again. So every single ending, our character ends up either dead or just a thrall to some sort of Lovecraftian race, apparently. Also, the explorer mind just went to sleep. No one knew why, but whatever. It all worked out for everyone, and we technically are alive. See, that robot's fine. I'm gonna try one more where I try sending a broadcast now that I have all the data, because I'm not sure if I actually ever did that. I don't think it will matter though. I don't know why it would. There's no hidden upgrades or anything. Maybe collecting all the data will be oh well, you took too long. We can only send one broadcast. Let's just send this broadcast, sure. This is looking like it's probably going to play out the way it normally does, though. So yeah, I don't think that there's any actual reward for collecting 100% of the data. You do need to collect a good amount of it to get that one ending, to get the weird ending that I just got, because you can't read the language until then. But otherwise, I don't think there's really any reason to collect more than 30 of it. I guess that you do need enough data to do the hidden challenges to get kind of the good ending, because you do need more than 30 data worth of upgrades for that. And first time I played this, I actually did the secret ending where you blow up the explorer mind, and the one where you blow up yourself, before I did the send a broadcast ending. So that was rather confusing. It's oh, I don't really know why we blew it up, but okay. Yeah, that's Rust, Sand and Rust.